Hey guys, Andos.gaming here and welcome back to another Warzone video. I hope you are having a great day. In today's episode, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about movement for PC players in Call of Duty Warzone. So I'm going to break this video into 3 sections. What we're going to do first is we're going to have a look at some gameplay from JoeWo. If you don't know who he is, in my opinion, he's currently the best movement player in Warzone today. I'm going to break down his gameplay and see if we can learn a couple of things. The reason why I'm doing this is because I just want to show you how the best players in the world do it and how you can also utilize these techniques in your own gameplay. I notice with the top movement players around the world, just my opinion, seem to be on controller, and a lot of Warzone movement tips and tricks videos on YouTube also seem to cater to console players. So I do hope this video will help the PC players out because we matter too. So in the second section of today's episode, I'll break everything down and show you all the techniques you should be using. I'll show you the most optimal settings for your keyboard and mouse, and some key bindings you should really consider to take your movement to the next level. In the final section of today's video, I'll be giving you some training methods to practice your movement. These skills won't come overnight, disclaimer, so I'll give you some training methods to make sure you can develop your movement skills as fast as possible. Before we begin the breakdown, I will leave JoeWo's YouTube channel and Twitch information in the description. If you enjoy his gameplay, remember to go check him out and show your support. Key note, when I am breaking down his movement and it's a little bit hard to follow, don't worry, we'll cover everything in the next section of the video. In this gameplay, I just want to show how effective slide cancelling can be when used correctly. At this moment, he's stuck in the room and there's 2 enemies outside pretty much pre-aiming the door. And notice here, he performs a slide cancel out of the enemy's line of sight and is able to get the kill. And remember, there's still a second enemy behind him and he manages to perform a fadeaway. This is a really cool move to learn. This is where you slide cancel and jump backwards to confuse the enemy. In this second breakdown, Joe also has really good movement and really good timing. Notice right here, he spots an enemy. Instead of just challenging him on the spot, he decides to do a slide cancel and then a bunny hop, causing the enemy to miss, and he's able to get the kill.
Maybe one more pop.
Yeah. That's the guy. I can't even see this guy, man.
Right here, he spots the enemy. He doesn't have much armor and is pretty much under pressure at this point. Notice how he tactical sprints and does a bunny hop backwards to get the kill. This is also known as a fadeaway, but without the slide cancel beforehand in the previous example. Also, notice how he seems like he's gliding. This is due to him timing his bunny hop correctly, which we'll go over later in the video. In this third breakdown, Joe is able to take out multiple enemies at once using his movement. Right here, he does a fadeaway to create distance and confusion. It's really hard to see, but there is an enemy in this room that Joe has spotted. Watch how Joe performs a slide cancel and then jumps it right after. It's a really good technique combining your slide cancel and jumping at the same time. Another enemy has appeared, and notice how he performs the same technique we just mentioned before. We'll also go over this later in the video. It causes the enemy to miss and is able to hit his shots at the same time. I hope you enjoyed that breakdown. Remember to go check out JoeWo, who's one of the best players in the world at the moment when it comes to movement. In the next section, we are going to go over the best settings for PC players, and I'm also going to teach you all the movement techniques you should utilize in Warzone. First though, if you liked the video, make sure you smash the like button. That would be much appreciated. Also, please consider subbing to the YouTube channel. I make a lot of Warzone tips and tricks videos. We cover aim training, movement, positioning, how to get more wins, and everything else. So make sure you sub to the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Now we're going to go to adjust some settings to take your movement to the next level. So I want you guys to go to your movement settings. In this section, your default sprint button and tactical sprint is your left shift. Go to advanced and you want to change your tactical sprint to left shift. Now you don't need to press left shift key twice to do a tactical sprint. This will enable you to do slide cancels and bunny hops a lot easier. Personally, when I changed this, it was a game changer. Disclaimer though, if you are a sniper, you'll need to change your steady aim button to a different key. Another setting you can adjust is having automatic sprint on. This just means you'll auto attack sprint when moving forward. I did some testing and personally, I prefer this to be disabled. It's a personal preference, so this is up to you. Let's adjust some key bindings to improve your movement. This is also personal preference. Everyone is different, so you'll need to experiment with this one. This is just my recommendation. So notice your left hand on the keyboard. Your index finger, middle finger, and ring finger is normally on the direction keys. Your thumb is on the spacebar and your pinky is on the left shift. The default crouch command is normally the C button. So normally if you slide cancel, you have to move your index finger to the C button. When this happens, it's actually really hard to slide cancel to the right. You would have to move all of your fingers to complete the movement. A lot of console players have this philosophy where you should always keep your finger on the joystick at all times. I feel the same should apply for PC players. You should always have full control of the direction buttons to be able to perform fast movements consistently. To fix this issue, I recommend changing your crouch button to one of your mouse keys. A lot of mouses these days have extra buttons on the side which you can utilize. So to improve movement, I would recommend changing your crouch command to one of your mouse buttons. Personally, I use the M65 Corsair mouse. It has an extra button on the side here which I can utilize. I'll leave a link in the description. Disclaimer, it is an affiliate link. No stress though, if you have any mouse with buttons on the side, which most do these days, that should work fine as well. Okay, now that we have the settings out of the way, let's get into the techniques which you learn to get better at movement. I'm going to go over the techniques from the easier ones to the more advanced ones in order. Technique number 1, the slide. Basically the slide is tactical sprint, crouch, crouch, crouch. This is where you don't need to slide cancel and pretty much just do a slide. These are good for scenarios where you need to use hip fire or just move around the map. Super easy to do.
Okay.
Technique number 2 is slide to aim down sight. To do this move, all you need to do is tactical sprint, crouch, aim down sight, and then jump. Basically, it's where you slide and just aim down sight. This is a good alternative to slide cancels due to its simplicity and if you need to cover distance. With this technique, you won't be able to cancel your sight early, however, it's super easy to do and very useful in stressful situations. Technique number 3, the slide cancel, the holy grail. The best way to do a slide cancel is tactical sprint, crouch, crouch, and then jump. This is the most efficient way and pretty much how the pros do it. It's very good for peeking around corners, moving around the map, probably the best movement mechanic in the game in my opinion. Key note, you can cancel your slide super early or you can slide a bit further depending on the scenario. You can also use hip fire during your slide cancel or just aim down sight after your slide. Technique number 4 is slide cancel to jumps. Pretty much what you want to do is slide cancel, then jump to either side. This is a move often utilized by the pros and higher tier players. It's a very common movement. This is where you slide cancel and shoot the enemy and jump in either direction to make the enemy miss while also hitting your shots at the same time. I like jumping in the direction opposite of my slide, however it just depends on the scenario, so remember to adapt accordingly. Technique number 5 is the bunny hop. To perform the bunny hop, you want to tactical sprint, jump, 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 and then jump. The key to the bunny hop is the timing. The timing is key. You want to press the jump key as soon as your feet hit the ground. This will make it seem like you're gliding and you can actually go much further. Personally, the timing took me a little while to get used to, so make sure to practice this one. Bunny hops are good when enemies are pre-aiming the corners, re-challenges, and it just helps you get out of sticky situations. Technique number 6 is the fadeaway. The fadeaway is basically jumping backwards, either using the slide cancel to jump technique we went over earlier or the bunny hop to launch yourself backwards to confuse the enemy. Remember the breakdown we did earlier where Joe used this technique? It's very good, it confuses the enemy and it looks really cool. Very useful technique, make sure you give it a go guys. Technique number 7 is the slide cancel to the bunny hop. Slide cancel to bunny hop is probably the most advanced technique on this list, however once you understand the mechanics of it, it can be a very useful skill and it looks pretty cool as well. To perform this move, you'll need to do a slide cancel, change direction, tactical sprint, and then bunny hop. This is good for scenarios where you need to get into cover or make the enemy miss their shots. As you can see in this example, Joe does it really well, it's a super cool move, and it's one of the hardest moves to master in actual live gameplay. So practice this and give it a shot guys. Okay, disclaimer, you'll need to have multiplayer to access bot lobbies to utilize my next recommendation. I'm a big advocate of having access to bot lobbies to train the game mechanics within Warzone. However, a good alternative is just jump into a plunder mode and you can train your movement there. So once you have the techniques down, I want you to jump into a bot lobby. I want you to choose free for and whatever map you prefer. I want you guys to practice your movement while killing bots. The goal is to get you guys super comfortable when performing these moves. So when you're playing in Warzone, you're already used to the mechanics. Remember to practice your slide cancelling, slide jumps, bunny hops, fadeaways, and slide cancel to bunny hops. If you want to take your training to the next level for the more advanced players, you can turn on headshots only while training. I've actually already made an aim training video on the best way to get headshots, so go check that out after this video if you are interested. Here are some tips and tricks I wish I knew when I first started trying to get good at movement. Tip number 1 is be disciplined with centering. When using amazing movement, it means nothing if your centering is off. So make sure you are centered on the enemy when slide cancelling and jumping around. Tip number 2 is use your movement to stay alive. This is actually way more important than all these fancy moves. Staying alive can have a big impact on your squad and winning the overall fight. Tip number 3, don't be discouraged guys, keep at it. Even if you don't seem like you're doing too well, there's always a transition stage when trying to improve and get good at movement. You'll be moving like a pro in no time, so just be patient and be consistent. And tip number 4, the most important tip of all time is remember to smash the like button on this video. If you smash the like button, your movement will increase by 3000%. So do that. Thank you very much. Well, that is it for today's video. If you're thinking about sharing this with your squad, I do highly recommend it. A good squad means a good time. Also, remember to sub to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future content. I hope you did enjoy today's video. I will see you guys next time and good luck on the Warzone.